Welcome in, welcome in. Hopefully everyone is having a good day. You guys know me. Gonna be talking about the news of the new game.
What is wrong? What is my problem? What can I get out of this world that I created? Fighting the storms in my head. Don't know where I have been. I'm alone. No one to turn to. No one understands. Shit's too complicated.
Honestly, kind of excited for it.
Away, and I feel like I am someone else. Away, and I feel like I don't know myself. No. Away, and I feel like I don't know my name. And I don't want to live this way. I don't want to keep on wasting a life. I'm drowning in my head, I'm losing the mind. And if you could know, yeah, if I could show you, I don't want to
Could be a good night tonight.
so faceless.
Should be a good night tonight. Hi, Kylie.
Yeah, unknown brain.
Thank you for stopping in.
And we back.
Sure that you're all there.
Made it through the wind and rain. I turn nothing into something. No more dealing with their assumptions. Cause I do what I gotta do and I know, can't nobody do it like me. All they do is judge me for who I might be. Maybe if they took some time to pick my mind and see that I'm cooler than lemons and iced tea.
We're gonna get started. Trying to make sure we don't have any technical difficulties
I don't want to keep on wasting a life.
during the stream.
I'm drowning in my head, I'm losing the mind. And if you could know, yeah, if I could show you, I don't wanna keep on living this life so faceless. So faceless.
Just getting things loaded up real quick.
So faceless.
Was in a little bit of a rush
So faceless.
stopping when I did. Welcome in though, welcome in. We're gonna be doing some F1 again.
I've got a premonition, I'm dreaming you and I. All my darkest fears are coming outside. We got a billion races, we got this melody. And you can trust me, baby, we got everything. Call me whenever you feel alone, babe. And when you need to cry, I'll be by your side. Call me whenever
Gonna be
you
playing
need
some
someone,
F1.
babe. And when you need to escape from 1,000 fires, I'm gonna kiss you wherever you are. And I'm gonna miss you, I will never lie. Call me whenever you need someone, babe. We're running in the jungle of love. Jungle of love. We're running in the jungle of love. Listen to my conditions, I got you on my mind. You were stuck in my head and I don't know why. We got a billion races, we got this melody.
Welcome back, Paul. Welcome back.
Baby, we got everything. Call me whenever you feel alone, babe. And when you need to cry, I'll be by your side. Call me whenever you need someone, babe. And when you need to escape from 1,000 fires, I'm gonna kiss you wherever you are. And I'm gonna miss you, I will never lie. Call me whenever you need someone to drink. We're running in the
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Cut it off right before the beat drop. We're gonna do a little bit of warm up and then we gonna get into it. There's usually a lot of races on Monza. We'll start Monza. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. It's gonna be a good night. The news of F1 24 was released today, which is always interesting. Gonna be released on May 31st. Which is a lot earlier than what it used to. So it should be quite interesting. Setups are pretty much the same. First lap of the day. It's always a little bit interesting. Especially when you do something like that. Alright, we're just getting into it. Just getting into it. Still lost time there. Alright though. Invalidated. Not great. We did gain time through that sector. Almost. Almost. I'm just not good at turn one. Yeah, I just don't even understand that. Too much. Alright, let's just get to an online session. Who are we getting? Who are we getting? We spending a little bit time warming up. That's all we really need. Find us a lobby. Just missed the one. Want to try and find a server that we actually have a decent connection to. Doesn't need to be perfect. That I get. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, this might be good. Oh man, I just lost my spot. That was a full lobby too. Mm, don't hurt. Those are F1 World cars. This could be a good one. We're driving the Haas today. Support the American co-founder. In case you haven't already, and you're on Twitch, make sure you type in !W. You'll get the code 10% off all your order. Also, if you want to check out your new jewelry or some style, click the links to my Facebook, or on Twitch type in !So laced. You'll get code 25% off Ghost. It's raining. It's not great. Alright, well the setup's probably messed up, but it's raining. 5 laps. Here we go. Alright, well I didn't expect that to happen in front of us. I have a feeling that this Aston's gonna make a move. Oh, that is 100% my fault.
Caution, caution.
I really did not mean to crash this Ferrari.
That start was okay. Now stay alert for threats around you.
He does look like he's struggling though, so like.
Great maneuver. You made it look so easy.
Need to get one gear up in like every corner.
Okay, clear.
I'm spinning the back wheels pretty hard. Oh, well, that's not the way to do it. Unfortunately, I'm not very fast in the rain on this game. I've not spent much time
Yellow flag.
in the rain on this game. And I have no wet setups. Looks like there's going to be a big crash in front of us. Oh, there's one.
Green flag. Green
Oh,
flag.
well,
We're
that was
racing again. Let's
100%
go.
my fault. Whoops.
Okay, you're in the top 10.
And just like that, we're out of the top 10. If there was damage in this race, we probably would have been out of this race a long time ago.
Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home.
Need some sort of dry circuit next time. I mean, I don't even know if that was my fault. Could have been. Might have been.
Green flag.
My teammate in the other Haas goes P1. Stellar victory for the team. Oh, and we just lose P10. P9. That could have been something. Oh. That's my teammate right there. Go teammate. Go teammate. Not the best race. Considering it was in the rain. Could have been better. Could have been worse. It's all good. Oh. Mm. Excuse me. Apologies. Apologies. Back has been killing me the last couple of days, so I'm just trying to crack it here. Back to the F1 news. There is rumored to be massive updates coming to the driver career mode, so definitely stay tuned for an update on that. We're going to be pre-ordering the game tonight or tomorrow, sometime soon. We will have early access May 28th. We'll get 3 days early. Play as much as we can. We'll get as much content out as we can. We'll probably stream if it's allowed. Well, if I'm allowed, I should say. Um, get as much content out as we can. Learn as much as about the game as we can. And we will see what goes from there. I would like to do a little bit more than 5 laps. 5 laps is kind of boring. But this lobby is full. And I like a full lobby. Let's read the settings real quick. Regular corner cutting. Safety cars off. Formation lap off. Red flags off. Car damage is off. Okay, well, I'm still not going to cut corners because well, I might unintentionally here. But I try not to abuse it because I drive on strict corner cutting rules all times. Let's get into it. You'll have to let me know, y'all will have to let me know about the sound if you like it or not. We can add more from the soundboard. Just takes a significant amount of time. But I will gladly add more. Alright, setup should be fine. I don't know if it's old or if it's new. Either way, we're starting 14th on the grid. Let's get into it.
Caution, caution.
I'm very surprised that we didn't get taken out there. Almost taken out by the Alpha there. It's alright though, we're moving. We're moving.
Alright, let's focus now for the rest of the race.
Also, if you're on Twitch and you haven't already, type in !socials. You'll get a link to all my social tree. You'll find my most recent YouTube video on there as well. The highlights from the Road to Glory. I knew that was going to happen. It's all good. We press on.
Okay, clear.
Oh, now that's just unfortunate. Spun round twice. It's alright. We press on.
Okay, DRS is now available.
Could have probably did a little better through a rouge there.
Caution, caution.
That would have been corner cutting on strict. Almost lost it there.
Green flag.
Almost died by the teammate. It's alright though.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 1.6 seconds.
Yo, River, appreciate the follow. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're just doing a little bit of online racing right now. It's not our best performance. We did have one spin, but then we were crashed out once as well. That's an AI. Oh, it is very fun.
And you're in P13. That move was illegal, I'm afraid, mate. Return the position, give it back.
I don't understand how it was an illegal move. We were both on track there. Yeah, this is F1 23, the newest one. F1 24 was just announced today. It'll be released May 31st.
Yellow flag. Final
Supposed
lap,
to be
final lap. Push, push.
a new driving mechanic. The driver career mode is supposed to be getting a rehaul basically. And then also, yeah, I do hope VR is better. The compatibility
Green flag.
just isn't good on VR. On this game, at least, in my opinion. You should be able to do more than you can. I tried to swerve away, but I clipped his front wing. I don't know if you can say that it was my fault. But I hit his car, that's for sure. There's no
Okay,
denying
so the
that.
gap to the car ahead, 2.8 seconds.
I don't have the best headset. I have a Quest 2. So I know that even just getting a newer headset would make VR better. But I have the same complaint like everyone else has. I just can't wear it for more than like 15 or 20 minutes and I'll get a really bad headache. And it's just really heavy. It's just very heavy, in my opinion at least. Quest 2. But I appreciate you stopping in, River. Try and get a better race on this next one for you here. Hopefully if everything loads up. Probably going to stay in this lobby for the last race. I have a Quest 3 and tried this game once. It's good. But disconnected. Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's I don't want to say it's bad on the Quest 2 because I think it's like it's still enjoyable, but I don't have the most top of the line computer. So if I was playing in VR, it's a struggle for me to record it as well because my VR's only getting like 40 frames anyways. I got a Ryzen 9 3900 and a 3060 Ti, but still, even then, the Quest 2 definitely brings down the quality, and then just on top of the fact that it's VR, yours is better than mine. Yeah, I'm not complaining. Trust me. I've I put a lot of money into it, and I definitely respect what I got for sure. R7 5800 3060 Ti. Got you, got you. We got the same graphics card. I just got a little bit better of a CPU. What, 12 more cores? I mean, at the end of the day, that makes a little bit of a difference. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and say it doesn't. Like I said, I think this is the last race of this lobby. Yeah, we're doing Brazil here. Last race of this lobby, so we'll stay in it for this race. Don't know where we're gonna start because he has qualifying off and real grid starts from real life. So we could be anywhere from 10th to 20th. Hopefully we're closer to 20th. Maybe we pull a Hamilton in the sprint race 2019. Go from P20 to P1. But I appreciate you stopping in, River. Welcome in, welcome in. It's your first time rolling by. Let me know how you found me. If you were just scrolling on Twitch, or if you're a friend, or if you play F1 yourself. However we can connect, just let me know. I'll be more than willing. I was looking for smaller streamers. Well, I appreciate that. It's always a welcome sight. Typically what I do when I stop streaming, but I don't know if you're a fellow streamer yourself. If you are, of course I'll stop by when you are streaming. If not, I appreciate the love. It's always welcomed. Hope you've been having a good day. I am not too old. You listen, you're never too old to start anything new, especially if you never tried it, but I understand where you're coming from. I appreciate you coming by though. Hopefully you have a good time. We're going to get into this race, 5-lap race. I seem to have killed that Red Bull on accident. And my wheel is making grinding noises, which I don't appreciate right now. We may have to hit a technical difficulty.
Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward.
Yeah, we are gonna be right back. We're gonna try and fix. Give me 1 second. We're gonna fix this wheel real quick. it was rattling and not wanting to stop, which is not good for the gears, obviously.
Holding on to what I know, to everything I've learned, but it's real and fabricated.
But I appreciate everyone tuning in. If you're on YouTube and you haven't already, make sure you check out the channel. Hit the sub button. If you're on Twitch, make sure you drop a follow if you haven't already. Hashtag exclamation point socials will give you a link to all of my. It will give you a link to my link tree. You'll find everything there, my YouTube, my TikTok, everything. So I do appreciate everyone tuning in. Try and find a lobby that we can get some good connection to. It's the plan anyways. That is the plan. Connection's somewhat poor to this lobby, but seemed like there was a decent amount of. Oh, no, they've already started. Not good for us. It's really tough to find a lobby right now. We're having somewhat of a struggle. I don't understand why people do hour-long practice sessions in online races. I never understand that. And if it's like, if you're training somebody or you're teaching one of your friends what to do, we'll go with the alpha. Silverstone. Okay. Silverstone. Okay. We're gonna go in the Haas again. I said we'd drive the Haas today. We'll keep it in the Haas. Keep the American F1 team alive. Got to do everything we can. Keep them running. Who knows? They'll probably sell to Andretti. If they do, could be good. Could be good for the sport. Could be good for Andretti. They'll get their team. They might get in at a cheaper price. Maybe buy the facilities, take over the facilities. It's a win-win. Who knows? That is what I hope happens in the future. But that's pure speculation. Pure speculation. This one should be a good one. No matter where we start. I enjoy this track. Hopefully, the setup treats me better than it did the other day. But I'm not going to make any excuses. It's not what we're here to do. Well, they started that pretty early. We're gonna run pretty low on the tire pressures. How do you like the Logitech G923? It's not bad. Um, if you were looking to just get into sim racing or like get a beginner wheel basically, we started pretty high up the grid. Not always fun. If you're just looking for like, okay. If you're looking for something to get you started, crashed out in the beginning, never good or fun. If you're looking for something to get you started, the Logitech would do its job. It's lasted me just over 4 years. It's lasted me just over 4 years. Uh, it does have its
Yellow
problems now
flag.
and then where I feel like it's potentially breaking. And if I was to restart all over again, I would probably spend another 50 to 100 bucks and get the Moza R5 bundle.
Okay, not a great start, but let's
It's
get
a
back on track.
direct drive wheel, so it's got a little bit more power than a Logitech, but it's also got more upgradability. So if you enjoy it, it's got the ability to upgrade the wheel and the wheelbase in the future, and everything works together. The Logitech's pretty set to where it's all connected together, which is nice, but it sucks sometimes. And then if you're just looking for like a plug and play design, I would probably suggest Thrustmaster. Uh, I would start with like the T Swervo base, and then whatever wheel you believe you think you would get the most use out of. Again, just because of the upgradability. Thrustmaster has unlimited options.
Okay, clear.
And it depends on what games you're playing, but for like what I like to do in terms of like F1 and specifically, I would have rather went with the Moza because you have more control over the braking systems and you can set it to certain settings and change a lot more.
Caution, caution.
I don't know why I didn't expect that to happen again. Same kid.
DRS now enabled.
The only bad thing
DRS
about online
enabled.
racing, I should have probably expected that and swerved out of the way. Just gets a little annoying sometimes. Always having to do that on every single corner. But that's online racing for you. But yeah, if you're just looking into sim racing, I would recommend to look at a different company than Logitech. Just off my personal opinion. You'll get more for your money in the future if you're willing and able to spend that extra 50 to 100 on the Thrustmaster or the Moza. I believe you could get like a Thrustmaster set for maybe even the same price or cheaper than the Logitech G923 bundle. The Moza kit, it is going to be about $100 or $50 depending on when you look at the Logitech bundle more. But that's the one that I would personally go with if I like if the money was dispensable at the time. But those are just my opinions. So take those with a grain of salt. But it all depends on your budget. If your only plan is to get on and mess around when you got a little bit of time here and there, the Logitech would get its job done. It does plenty of work, like I said. I've had it for almost 4 years. Almost 1,000 hours of driving time.
Okay, final lap. Let's go. Final lap.
The main reason I got a seat or something to keep the wheels and stuff steady was because I wanted to be as fast as I possibly could, so consistency meant a lot to me. And having something like this seat allowed me to never have to move the wheel and pedals. It's always in the stationary spot where I wanted it to be, where I've set it up to be. For some reason, I'm having a very tough time with that corner those last couple days, but we'll get through it. Maybe next year I'll be even faster
Yellow flag.
through the new modeling handle or the new driving model. And I can get even closer to the esports players. What about Logitech Pro Wheel? I I've heard about it. I've read reviews and I've looked at YouTube videos. I've never personally used it myself. Um,
Okay, the incident's been cleared. Let's get back up to
I
racing
mean,
speed. Come on.
I haven't looked at the side-by-side comparison from Logitech Pro and like the Moza R5. I do know that the Logitech Pro is a direct drive wheel. I don't know the compatibility for the upgrades in the future. And I also don't know the pricing on the Logitech Pro. I think it's like 500 maybe. I might be wrong about that pricing. Might be cheaper than that. I don't exactly remember. 1,000? Hmm. Um, I mean, I don't want to say yes or no because, like I said, I haven't done a whole bunch of research on it. 300 for the pedals, and then 700 for the Pro wheel, assuming. Okay. I mean, so 1.5. Oh my God. I mean, for that price, for just the wheel and pedals, if that is like even close to what your budget is, I would recommend probably Thrustmaster or Moza because the Moza R5 bundle is, I want to say, $400 or $500 most of the time. Sometimes it's on sale. I think it's when it's on sale it's 400, when it's not on sale it's 500. But then I mean for 1,000 on for Thrustmaster, you could get a decent amount for 1,000 in a Thrustmaster category. I don't know the exact layout that you could build because I don't know the pricings off the top of my head. Ultimately, my 5 tips. We're gonna find a different lobby because that, yeah, sim racing is hard to judge. No, it is 100% hard to judge. My 5 tips that I recommend to everyone, even my closest friends, that I plan to be making a YouTube video soon about mistakes to avoid, but I would say to first start off with what you're willing to spend at all, and then find out what means most to you. Because I don't have a handbrake or a sequential shifter, and that matters to a lot of people, or some people. I don't drive a lot of cars or play a lot of games that require e-brakes or a shifter, so I didn't need either of those things. So a lot of my budget went to my seat and the accessories around the seat. Now, if you're someone that wants to play like WRC a bunch, you might want a handbrake. And I mean, some handbrakes are $45, some are there's I know that there's some that are 90. There's even some that are more than 90, but ultimately, I think it's wherever you're willing to spend the most money and wherever you think you'll spend your most time. But always lay out your budget first and then plan for upgradability. So like that's what I was saying for the Logitech. I can't take my wheel off and switch this wheel to anything else. But if I got a Moses system, I could take the wheel off and put a new wheel on or the old wheel on, or so that's kind of what I mean by the upgradability. You want to be able to, if you do enjoy it, you can change it in the future and adapt it, and that also adds the resale value because once you buy this Logitech, the more I research, the more I feel like I should just go cheap, even though I could spend more. I understand that for sure, and it all depends on how much time you really think that you're going to spend. I spend a good amount of time here, and I plan to hopefully make this my everyday source of income through streaming and content. So I do take it pretty seriously, but for the average person, you could have fun with just like a basic G923 or even the G920 and get a wheel stand so that way your pedals and your wheels aren't touching your desk, so you can press the brake and stuff as hard as you want, and you could still enjoy that and still have plenty of fun. I mean, I used to hook my wheel up to my desk and drive it off of the desk. And that was one of the main reasons that I got a seat, was because I didn't feel like I was fast enough. Because I always had to switch the location of my wheel. But again, I plan to take it very seriously. And I honestly would love to compete in esports. I have a lot of time to find, but I know I could do it. I don't want to say it's a slippery slope, but it's definitely to the point to where it almost seems like the more and more you research, all of them do the same thing and all of them have around the same specs in terms of like gear driven wheels and direct drive wheels. So it's hard to tell the difference and where the price difference is. A lot of times it's because of the company name that the price is so inflated compared to what, excuse me, compared to what it actually is worth, in my opinion. But if I were to start all over again after 4.5 years of sim racing, knowing what I know, even now, I would save up the money that I spent and start with a direct drive wheel just because of the amount of control and feeling and realisticness, and they can hurt your hands if you're not careful and if you don't know what's going on and if you're not suspecting of it. But they do have the best Somoza R5. That's just my personal opinion. I think it's the best value for money. It's like I said, I think it's 400 when it's on sale. I think it's 500 when it's not on sale. There's a performance brake kit which allows you to change. You can add different springs which add the intensity of the brake. Those R5 wheel stand in my Quest 3. I mean, that would be a crazy setup for sure. I wouldn't say most wheel stands are anywhere from like 80 to 120. They might be a little bit cheaper than that. Some of them are 50. I mean, I haven't looked and done a whole bunch of research on any wheel stands, so I don't want to say get this one because I don't know for sure. I could do research tonight, and when I'm live again Thursday, if you stop by, I can give you my opinion if you'd like. But I don't know any of the companies that make wheel stands off the top of my head, and I don't know any of the good reviews. I wanted to feel as close as in the car as I could with the amount of money that I had.
That start was okay. Now stay alert for threats around
You'll
you.
research it. Yeah, all good. I'm sure that there's probably a vast difference in pricing and also the companies. I would probably find one that just says, like, in my opinion, sturdy is the most important thing because if I spend 700 enough a month not really liking it, it's not a huge hit for me. Well, I mean, at least it's not a huge hit. I will say, I do think that if you do go with the Moza and the wheel stand route, your resale value would be more than if you got something like the Logitech. Because you could probably get as close to retail as possible with the Moza, but with the Logitech, as pretty much as soon as you buy it, even if you say it's brand new, it's pretty much $50 cheaper than what you paid for it.
Okay,
And I mean,
clear.
that could be said for anything. But yeah, I always recommend a wheel stand just because it offers more control through the brake and the wheel, and you don't have to worry about your desk
We can now
cracking
use
or
DRS. DRS now available.
breaking your desk or overwhelming at any point. I used to have a not so great of a desk, and every time I plugged my wheel in and I was clamping it to the bottom side of my desk at this time, I would almost feel like the desk was coming off of the ground because it was shaking so much. And that's one of the other reasons why I am so adamant on recommending something like a wheel stand or a seat. The seat is more, if I'd say you've already done sim racing and you enjoy it and you're just looking for something else. I don't know what the best seat would be, but hindsight's always 20/20. If I could restart over, I wouldn't buy the same seat again. We can very well pass him. I just want to get DRS at the right time and also not get too close because the last 3 online races haven't treated us great. And every time we get close to someone, wheel to wheel, we get crashed out. Seems like he's spamming ERS through the straights, which is not convenient for me.
Okay, this is your final lap of the race.
We're on 2 warnings. Can't get another one. If we had more than 5 laps in this race, I feel like we could definitely be fighting for, I don't want to say first, but we could definitely be fighting for second. I think the leader's just a little bit too far ahead. I think we just lost DRS too, which, I mean, it's not a huge deal. Come on, P4. Not the best race, not the worst race. We didn't get crashed out. We survived through turn 1. That's all that matters sometimes. Let's find us another lobby. Apologies. I was just checking the phone real quick. Da, da, da. The only thing that sucks is that it's very hard to find a lobby with good connection. This could be good. Regular corner cutting, safety car standard, red flag standard, car damage standard. Maybe if we can fill this lobby up a little bit. If we can get this lobby popping, excuse me, this could be a good race. We'll give it, say, 2 minutes. We shall give it, say, 2 minutes. connection is always very, very bad. Always. There we go. It's one person. Maybe he'll start an influx of people joining. Watch, are you ready? In 3, 2, 1. Here come the people. Darn it. Got another 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Can we get more people in this lobby in 60 seconds? Let's see. I apologize. I need to take a drink. I'm not racing a bunch of AI, that's for sure. We're gonna switch lobbies. Again, if I wanted to race AI, I would just race the AI. It just doesn't make any sense. I know they also want a full lobby. Ooh, this could be good. Can we connect? We'll drive in the Williams. Mexico. Strict. Reduce safety car. Red flags off. Car damage standard and reduced. Okay. So we have a one-shot qualifying, then we have an 18-lap race. There's plenty of laps in the race to make overtakes, so we're going to start from the back of the grid. Boom. Dom is in this lobby. Dom was the one that was very fast in the previous race that we did. So it should be interesting. He might even very well be on a controller. Who knows? All right, we hope and pray that this is the right setup. We're gonna start from the back anyways. We may not be able to catch up to Dom. It's quite fast. That doesn't mean we're not gonna try. We'll push the first 2 sectors, then we'll back off. Been a long time since I drove here. Could have been P3. Dom's a second faster than us, so that's crazy. Yeah, he's definitely just faster than us, so it's gonna be a hard one to catch. It's alright. Should make this race interesting. I don't know where the rest of the field is. I also like starting from the back of the grid because sometimes it makes people think that I crashed. No, no, no. Not over here, sir. Oh, my teammate did, though. We're starting as far back as we could, which is only P11. Um, everyone else just, I don't even know what happened. They either crashed their car or they just disqualified. Oh, looks like a lot of people disqualified. Even Dom's teammate Jake disqualified himself. Could have been intentional. Maybe that's what I should do in the future to get as far back in the grid as possible. Is invalidate through the lap. That might be the best plan, actually. Yeah, that might be our plan for the future. We're gonna probably invalidate from here on out intentionally in online races when we want to start from the back of the grid. Again, if you're on YouTube and you haven't already, drop a sub button, hit the bell. You'll be notified every single time we go live. If you're on Twitch and you haven't already, dropped a follow. Same thing. You'll be notified every single time we go live. YouTube, if you haven't already, check out the latest 2 uploads. You will see the highlights from the road to glory. We're going to start on the medium tire. I think Dom just left. Could change our whole race. Let's focus. P11. Just in front of our teammate. 5 red lights. And we're underway. The Ferrari in front of us just caused crazy.
Track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful. Virtual safety car. Reduce speed immediately and keep a positive delta. Safety car, safety car. No overtaking. Reduce your pace. Keep your delta number positive as we form up.
I don't know what's going on. Letting me pass people. I think they passed me as well under yellow flag conditions.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta's negative, which means you're going too fast. Reduce your pace.
Sometimes the safety car delta doesn't make any sense to me. I'm just following behind literally everyone else. It looks like Dom left and rejoined. He's still P6, so right in front of us. Could be a huge difference maker. P1's way too early. I mean, lap 1's way too early to be pitting. Fortunately, it also means safety car in lap 1, and I got in way late. Definitely online racing. Oh yes, we are playing online racing. Curtis, in case you missed it, we were talking F1 24 news earlier, and the news is released today. The game will come out in May 31st. There's supposed to be a revamp of the driver career mode, which should be quite interesting. And they said that there's also going to be a new handling model. Some people are suspecting that it's going to be on a new engine, maybe Unreal Engine. Don't know. It's just speculation at this point. The more news that comes out, the more I'll post. I'm also planning on making a video tomorrow about all the news that is released today. Wasn't awake, nor was I able Funny how every time you catch pace, it says reduce pace. Yep, pretty much. It's always like that. Luckily, right now we're not following any pace because we're just in the safety car line. So we just have to stay behind him and wait till everybody else lines up. Not fall behind too far to this McLaren. Type so far, Unreal Engine is normally the best, to be honest. That's just speculation. It might still be on the same engine that it's on currently. No one really knows. But they did say for sure that there's going to be a revamp of the driver career mode. So that'll definitely be intriguing. So I'll be making videos about that for sure. We're going to be pre-ordering the Champions Edition soon. And we will also get, for the first time ever, access to the F1 24 car liveries in the F1 23 game if we pre-order the Champions Edition. Considering I've pre-ordered the Champions Edition for the last 4 years, of course we will be doing it again. If you've played any of the last 3 years of games, F1 19 all the way, well 4 years of games, F1 19 all the way up to F1 23, you will get a 15% discount off the game if you pre-order. We'll have 3 days early access, so be looking out for videos at the end of May. May 28th is the first day of early access, so if I'm able to stream through legality reasons, we'll definitely have a stream that day.
Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap.
Even
When
if
the
it's
field
not
accelerates, remember, there's no
during
overtaking until the
normal
timing line.
scheduling
Safety car in
timings.
this lap.
We'll definitely have a stream that day, just to make sure we cover everything and check out everything firsthand, and everyone else will be able to see my opinion firsthand.
Battery charge is high. Let's use that overtake button a bit more.
Not a great restart.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 1.8 seconds.
They still are on the better tire.
Green flag.
We were driving the Haas earlier. The first couple races weren't great. We did get crashed out. And we've just lost connection. That would have been a great race. We're still rolling on Twitch, still rolling on YouTube, so that's just EA right there. Just closed my YouTube notice of the stream. Yeah, we'll just do a couple time trial laps. Try and load up again in a second. Let's see. We're gonna try a couple laps at Azerbaijan. We'll see how this works out and plays in our favor. Do know this setup's probably a little old, but that's okay. EA always had the worst servers. Battlefront was known for that. Yeah, I mean, the servers have never been good. I used to never have a problem, and I mean, the last 2 weeks, there's been 4 or 5 races now that I've been kicked out of mid-race, which obviously is not ideal. Hopefully there's a little bit of improvements next year or before next year. But I agree, EA servers have always been pretty bad. I do like this track sometimes. I don't want to say that all the time because focus on the driver mode and revamp, and I'm sure they're not worried about the servers too much. I mean, yeah, you're probably right, but I almost completely smashed the wall there. One of the main reasons that the game's being released early, or so everyone thinks, is for tests you're breaking for sure. Yeah, it does. But I love it. It's one of the tightest circuits. This and Monaco are probably tied somewhere. Monaco might be a little bit harder than this. But the speculation, or as to why the game's being released early, is for F1 esports. Which does make sense. There hasn't been any esports all year. They did one event at the very beginning of the year, and they haven't done any since. But I plan to see what the driver career mode's about. Test as much as I can through the first 3 days. Get a camera settings video out for everyone. Get a Logitech settings video out. We'll do like 1 or 2 more laps, and then we'll see if we can connect back to EA. Yeah, I knew we lost a lot of time there. Sorry, though. Love to hear it. The ideas have been fun, and you'll be ready for content, and I'm hyped for it. I am also hyped for it. Should be a good year. I'm also gonna do my 5 tips I wish I knew before starting F1 after the game comes out, because I've already got my list done and I was gonna do it for this game, but I figured probably be best until the new one drops to just edit that video, work on the script, and make it as best as it can be. Because I want my content to be as high quality as possible, and I spend a very good amount of time on it. I don't have as much time to spend as the other content creators that I'm competing against, and I also don't have the money to I don't have the money to farm it out to anybody else. So all the editing's done by me, the thumbnails are done by me. The content is obviously farmed by me. This is a one-man operation. It is a behind-the-scenes operation, more than one man, of course. Yes, true original product. That's the best way to put it. This is as raw as it gets. You see everything from yours truly. All the editing, all the racing, all of the thumbnails. This is a much better lap right here. That's what happens when I speak up. Still a good lap. Not anymore. Come on now. Give me some gas. Let's see if we can connect to EA servers. Usually it doesn't take very long when that does happen. If it does happen. Sometimes it's Steam. Steam does have a maintenance sometimes on Tuesdays. So it could have been us. Yeah, unfortunately for us, this is the only time that we can stream on Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. We might be able to bend the start and end time a little bit, but not by much. We were almost running late today due to technical issues, but they were solved. The game might be bugged out here, which is not good. Not good at all. I was running errands for daycare and a new whip for Killian. That is a hype day. Alright, we're gonna be right back. We're gonna try and fix this real quick. to try and fix this F1 problem. Going to try and get it Saturday. That's cool. That's cool. If you don't mind sharing, what are y'all getting? Of course, I'd love to know. Of course, I'd love to know. Maybe a 23 CRV. Hey, those are nice. Those are nice. Falling around 30K for 5 to 15K miles. That's a pretty good deal, if you ask me. It's not horrible. Red one in Dublin, gray one here at Ford we test drove, and blue one in Heath. Well, whatever one you guys decide, I hope it's the one that you want. That's really all I can say. Up to her, it's her car. Oh yeah, of course, but I'm sure she's gonna ask you what your opinion is and what you think. Either way, trying to get it loaded up here. We may not even have time for a race here. She doesn't like white interior on the red one, but wants red the most. Told her we can try for one. If that's the color she wants, but the blue one in Heath has all black seats. I'm assuming that the white interior is probably for messiness, and the red car is to not only match the ones that you have in the family, but because red's one of the most sought after cars. But I can understand the dilemma.
Fears are coming outside. We got a billion races, we got this melody, and you can trust me, baby, we got everything. Call me whenever you feel alone, babe, and when you need to cry, I'll be by your side. Call me whenever you need.
That's okay, I'm going to rewatch the stream. Well, it's like an off-white, and she thinks it looks stingy. She also apparently doesn't like seat covers. Hey, I mean, I can understand that. And for those who thought the stream was going to be over, we back, baby. It's like the middle of the seat too, with black edges. Well, that's understandable. I mean, if it's not like a clear, if it's not a actual white, if it's like a cream white, I can understand where the problem with it is, because sometimes cream can look good, other times it's eh. It might be tough to find a lobby, because That probably happened to a decent amount of people. Ooh, this might be good. I think they're all nice, and I'd go for the red or gray one, but she doesn't want gray. We're gonna drive the Haas. Keep it simple, like what we've been doing. Regular corner cutting, red flag standard, safety car standard. Damage is reduced. This will be our last race. We might run over here. 11 laps. The CRV cream is no bueno. LOL. I've not looked at a CRV, so I don't know what they look like inside, but I will trust your word for it and your opinion. For those of you on YouTube, if you haven't already, make sure you drop a sub button, hit the bell. You'll be notified every time we go live. You already know what it is, and you'll be notified on every YouTube video we post. Should be another one next week. Well, this week, I should say. This week of episode 3 of our Road to Glory, Lamborghini taking over Williams, fighting to get to the top. They're roomier than I thought they would be, and the trunk has great space, more than older CRVs, or at least it looks that way. Yeah, I get that. If we get another vehicle, it needs to have 3 rows, and SUV 3 rows just don't have very good trunk space, and we need trunk space. Trunk space is very vital and important. Being that we have 11 laps here again, there's time for us to start from the back of the grid, like usual. It'll be her mom car, I can understand. It'll be her mom car, I can understand your needs, brother. We don't have 3 kids yet, LMAO. Yeah, not only that, but wanting to have another one, it's kind of impossible because it's already hard enough getting all 3 of the kids into the car now, and we have to have 3 rows to add another kid. And ideally, I mean, if it did come up to the fact to where it was her van, we would probably switch cars, and I would take the SUV. But I'm fine with driving a van. Obviously, I want a fast car. But we don't always get what we want now, do we? For sure, big facts. At least you guys are thinking with your heads like we're trying to do. Yeah, exactly. It's just more about planning and in the future and what we want to do later on. Odysseys are low-key fuego. Yeah, I agree. You can build an Odyssey to 500 horsepower or engine swap so you can get a reliable 800. I mean, I know that you can do that. I don't know if that's what I would do to our family car. It's possible, though. I know it's possible. We're gonna start P17 on the grid. It's gonna make for an interesting one. We were only 3/10 off of P1, so we were 3/10 faster than everyone else. That at it again, going down the drag strip with some car seats still strapped in the back. Yeah, right, I'd be throwing the car seats as we're going down the drag. We need all the weight reduction we can get. And car seats get heavy. He thinks I'm playing. Also, if you haven't already, and you want to check out the latest partner, exclamation point so laced, you'll get the link to the website, code GHOST for 25% off your order. They sell streetwear, jewelry, accessories, sunglasses. Oh no. We almost ruined that. We're good now. We are good. We're gonna get it ripping. 5 red lights.
Okay, we've got a full course caution. The safety car's out. Keep an eye on the delta. We need to keep it positive to avoid a penalty.
There's no
Slow
way that I
down,
got a
maintain positive
5-second
delta.
time penalty for not even clipping him. Oh my goodness. We look up at chat in the wrong time, and we got another 5-second time penalty. Not great. Now we have no wing.
That looked bad.
That was
You all
intentional.
right? Let me know you're okay.
That's an online race for you right there. That is an online. I mean, it's not your fault. Not your fault. I should have been on the inside and not the outside. Hey, well, I'm glad you think it's funny. As long as someone can get a crack out of what happens, it's worth it. We're going to finish up with some time trial laps. We're going to call it there. We're going to finish up with a couple time trial laps, take some requests. The highlights video for the Road to Glory should be up. I want to say tomorrow, but it still needs recorded, so I don't want to get anyone's hopes up. It's either going to be tomorrow or Thursday, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. Not what we wanted to do. That I'll tell you. Walker, I appreciate the follow. Welcome in. Must be a fan of The Walking Dead. I like the name. I appreciate the follow. Welcome in, welcome in. If this is your first time stopping by, unfortunately you are catching the back end of the stream tonight. We're usually only live until 7 p.m. We start at 5. We've been live for about almost 2 hours now. We will be live Thursday. We're live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I am looking to expand the schedule soon. But, super old name. Look at you, big man. Hey, I understand where the old name comes from. I've had YouTube channels that have embarrassed me. I've had PlayStation names that embarrassed me. One of my first ever PlayStation names that I created was Cool Crush Ice Killer. I don't know if, Walker, if you'll know what that's from. I know that, Curtis, you'll know what that's from. Walker, if you don't know where that is from, it's from Dave Chappelle's show. Well, just Chappelle's show, but Dave Chappelle. And it's older skit. Quite old, but that's probably one of my first online names ever. I had it for like 5 years. And it just stuck, and I kept it because I thought it was cool. But I appreciate you stopping by. Very much appreciated. Did it have Terry Crews in it? Yes, it did. Sounds like you have seen it. Even if you've not seen the show, you might have seen the clip on YouTube because it was a very popular show, and that was one of the more popular sketches that they did. But I only know it from my older brother. Yeah, I've had many names in the past that I regret now. Let's just say that. I don't understand how I keep losing it. Still have a better name than mine, at least. I don't have XX Walkerbait XX. Yeah, that could be worse, I guess. Could be worse. That was a thing back then. I mean, it was cool to have X's in your name at a time. I remember I had a burner account that had a couple X's in it. Anyone who tells you they didn't, probably lying, honestly. Yeah, I don't know if Cape Matthew will ever get away from his first ever online name. But again, I'm sure all of us were younger than we should have been creating our online account. I haven't updated my Twitch, but my new name is Sapper Sap. Hey, I mean, it's much better than Walker Bait. I don't understand the reference, or if it is a reference, right off the name. Could just be a name that you created, whether it be a name you created or a reference. Too fast. Too fast. Sappers are an army reference to combat engineers, which I used to be. Well, I appreciate your service, first off. And that makes more sense. Not that it didn't make sense before, or that it needs to make sense. Almost died there. We'll do one more track real quick. A couple laps, and we'll call it a night. I do appreciate you stopping in, though. Hopefully you had a good day. I don't know how you found me, but however you found me, it's appreciated. I'm sure you're likely to tell me. I don't know if we have a time done here. We might not be able to save a setup. We might just have to go off of what they have already burned. It's cool. Just hopping through racing streams. Been thinking about getting the stuff for it. Hey, I respect that. I'll never not recommend it to anybody. I'm biased. I have almost 1,000 hours in sim racing together. Almost all of my time is spent through the F1 game. F1 is definitely getting bigger in the US. Part of that is thanks to Drive to Survive, the Netflix series. I don't know if you personally have Netflix or if you've watched the series. It brought a lot of US based fans to the scene that didn't even know what F1 was. Some of them get hate for it because they get called Drive to Survive fans. But the more the merrier in my eyes. And I enjoy the fact that there's going to be more races in the United States. There's rumored that the newest race that's going to be added on the calendar is going to be in Chicago. So that'll mark 4 USA Grand Prix. We'll have the Circuit of Americas, which is Texas. We'll have Miami. We'll have Vegas. And we will have Chicago. And I do understand where some of the grief and some of the annoyance comes from the European fan base, because a lot of their tracks don't get the love that they should. But a lot of Europeans don't also understand that the United States is quite large in terms of size, and the fact that they know that they can capitalize off of bringing more fans to the market, they will do everything they can to push as much as they can. The way I usually put it, at least for my friends, is if you have a little bit, so it's like Europe feels like USA is kind of starting their territory. Kind of. It's just stealing their territory. I mean, I don't want to say that because I'm not European and I don't want to speak on anyone's feelings. But the overall consensus that I usually pick up is they're just upset about the fact that a lot of the circuits, so like Miami and Vegas, they were both built the last 2 years to host Grand Prix there, where there's race and circuits that have been around for quite some time in Europe that still don't get love, and they're good circuits. Don't get me wrong, I love the circuits, but it's most of the time it's just the area and the fact that there's not a lot of people from that area, and the travel is hard to get there. I think that's one of the other reasons that F1 has been trying to get into the US a lot more, is because, at least from what I've heard, I've never been personally, but from what I've heard, most of the time getting to the Grand Prix is easier at all the US circuits than it is at some of the European circuits, just because of the infrastructure and how long it's been there, and etc., etc. But if you've not seen Drive to Survive, which one is my favorite? In terms of teams, right now my favorite team is Mercedes, right here. My boy Lewis Hamilton. My favorite driver on the grid currently and of all time right now. Yeah, I mean, if I'm not rooting for Mercedes, I like to root for Haas because they are the American team. They're the only American team on the grid. And by American team, I mean that their owner is American. But they've already pretty much announced that they're going to be last this season. Their team principal came forward and said that they don't expect anything better than P10, and there's only 10 constructors, so they pretty much expect themselves to finish last, which you never want to hear from pretty much the guy that's in charge of the whole team and all the decision making, but he just kept it honest. Top 3 teams for me is going to be Mercedes, Haas, and then the newly named Kick Sauber, what used to be Alfa Romeo. Top 3 drivers would probably be Hamilton, Bottas, and Lando Norris. probably be our last lap here, and then probably call it a night. Still need to do the editing for the YouTube video and the thumbnail. And we invalidate right at the end. How lovely. Again, I do appreciate everyone that stopped in. Walker, appreciate you stopping in for your first time. Appreciate you following. Yeah, I appreciate you. You have a good night. River, if you're still here, I appreciate you. All the first time chatters that stopped in said something. Very much love. All the people that followed for the first time, very much love. We'll be live again on Thursday. Same time, 5 to 7 p.m. We may not be playing F1. We might play Assetto Corsa. Maybe post a poll on YouTube to see what you guys want to see. But let me know. And if you haven't already, make sure you check out both partners. Dubby, So Laced, exclamation point Dubby, exclamation point So Laced. Code GHOST will get you 10% off at Dubby and 25% off at So Laced. I do appreciate everyone stopping in. That's going to be all for me. Hope you guys have a good night. Peace. I hit the wrong button.